Some lovely Foley work from Stu there. Amazing.
Can we add in a Wilhelm scream?
Sure we can do. There might be a Wilhelm scream after we deliver our next bit of news. We just want to take a quick second to say Happy Christmas to everybody. We hope you have a lovely time seeing your family or whatever it is you may be doing. 20 Side is going to be taking a break for a couple of weeks, and so there will be no episode on Christmas Day itself, nor on New Year's Day. Therefore, our next episode will be released on the 8th of January. We hope you have a lovely time over the holiday period, whatever you may be doing.
Yes, we will see you next year. Looking forward to it. Well, it gives everyone time to recover, and a lot of people listen while they're travelling into work, of course.
That's it.
So it kind of makes sense. But also it takes pressure off us because we're getting busy. I mean, we're recording this in advance and we're getting busy coming up to Christmas, of course. Two of us at least play seasonally significant characters. And Amy's got her reindeer ears on already. Well, antlers. That's the thing. Ears, horns, antlers.
You can't hear those, but it's totally beneficial to you, our listeners.
They're jingling. We can hear them jingle.
I heard the bells jingling. There we go.
There you go. Yes, nodding away like you're listening to Iron Maiden.
There we go. All right. Well,
but yes. But Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoyed this episode coming.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
As much as we do. And if we survive it, we'll see you in the new year.
Yeah. If we survive
Here's
our own incompetence. 2022
that's better than 2021 or 2020.
I mean, the bar is pretty low at this point, let's be honest. But I do hope it is an improvement.
Yes.
Does that mean next year it's going to be 22 side?
It might have to be. It might have to be.
Have you noticed how no one is saying roll on 2022 the way they were saying roll on 2021 back in 2020?
So because 21 was fucked.
Yeah, 21 was way better.
All right, yes. Well, Merry Christmas all. We'll see you in the new year. Have a lovely time on your holidays. And we'll catch you very, very soon.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Bye. Christmas. The goose is getting fat. As am
Is
I.
it? Are there going to be geese this year? Do we have gooses? Geeses?
Oh, no, they're all caught up on the
They're all stuck in traffic on the M25.
traffic.
I believe the plural is goosesai.
Gooseye.
Goosesai.
Gooseye.
Goosesai.
Goosesai.
Geese. Gooses.
Geesesusesai.
Why do we say geese
Geesesusai.
and not gooses? Because gooses sound fine.
We sound mongooses.
Yeah, monkeys.
I thought it was mongoose.
It's mongooses.
Well, this is just getting stupid.
Mongolians.
Yeah.
Do you want a collection of catses?
Oh, I used to know
meow.
this.
A
Cats.
stork.
Go on then. Tell us, Stu, what is a collection
There's
of cats?
actually two options. One is a clouder, but the other one, which I much prefer, is a glaring,
A glaring, yeah.
which
A glaring
is
of
so
cats,
appropriate
like
for
that.
cats.
Oh, another collected noun.
Yeah.
You haven't. I was about to say you have an unkindness of ravens, but we've talked about that before.
I think so.
We have.
Is it an unkindness?
It's an unkindness.
Yeah.
It's a murder of crows, isn't it?
Yeah. And a twattery of magpies.
Twat.
Is it really? I mean, you could have said yes, Joe. I believe you.
I said it with such conviction.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. I'm a very gullible person. How have you guys not learned this yet? If you believe what you're saying, there is a good chance that I will believe what you're saying.
I don't believe anything I ever say. Ever. At all.
Oh dear. Welcome back, listeners, to Tales from a 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm joined by Stu.
Hang on.
Oh, he's got his bells out.
Getting
He's got his bells out.
Fuck off.
With an E. Well, it's only a week away.
It is. It is. Well, we're also joined by Neil.
Hello, this is the sound a mince pie makes.
Okay.
Although I didn't actually have a mince pie with me, but I had one earlier.
There we go.
Did you just fart? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Do mince pies make you gassy, Neil?
Yeah, because there's no one here to pull my finger.
There we go. Well, we also have Darren.
Hello, this is the sound that somebody waiting for the sweet, sweet release of death makes.
And we are joined by Amy.
Hi, I'm fine.
There we go. I'm glad someone's okay. How are we doing, folks? Getting close to Christmas. It's only a week away.
Yeah.
In the real, in the real world, it is. Not for us. For us, it's not. For us,
I mean, they started Christmas adverts, and there's Christmas chocolate in the shops now.
We have started Christmas adverts. I'm in one of them. I'm in one of the big threes.
Are you?
Are you?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Which one?
Yeah, it's out. So why not? I'm in the one, but I am like this tiny, tiny, tiny speck in the distance.
Oh, okay.
Where they're making the
Yes.
lights flash in the garden, in the advert, and the guy comes out who's like, "Oh, who's messing about?" That's me.
Have people got angry about the one? Like they've been getting angry about all the other ones?
They say it's stupid. So,
specifically?
sorry, are you the guy who's comes out and says who's messing about, or are you the guy who's messing about?
No, I'm the guy who comes out and says who's messing about.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well,
Keep an eye out for it.
And I can tell you a story about the advert, in fact. They always insist that anyone in the adverts, unless it's like a specific...
You're not breaking an NDA here, are you? I just have to interject.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it anyway.
A well-known retailer.
Yeah, let's do that. I might beep out. So they all insist that everyone in the advert has to wear their brand of clothing, which I totally and utterly get. And I'm wearing a dressing gown in it. And they came up and they said, "Oh, we want you to try these different dressing gowns on." This was on the day of shooting. Yeah, sure. So they gave me the first one, and they're like, "It's an XL." I'm like, "Well, I'm a triple XL." Was that not in like? Oh, yes, we know you are, but XL is the largest that do. So, fuck. Merry fucking Christmas, you fattest bastards.
Well, apart from that, I thought didn't have their own brand. I thought they just sold other brands.
It has to be from the range that they sell, then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It has to be something.
You're probably right.
But something available in their shops. I once did a Sainsbury's advert, and I had a Sainsbury's T-shirt. But they said, but no, and it was a nice T-shirt as well. They said, but no, that's and it wasn't obviously a Sainsbury's T-shirt. They actually checked the label for the little TU thing that made it. Yeah, it's a piece of shit, whatever. But no, they wouldn't let me wear it because they said that's an old T-shirt and it's no longer available in Sainsbury's. So we don't want you wearing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's that kind of attitude, which is fine, and I totally get. But if you're going to do that, at least stock real people fucking sizes. Anyway, Right, that was my little rant.
I'm sure Giacomo will be far more accommodating when you go with.
Yeah, but have you noticed their adverts? It's only ever tall people.
Oh, is it? Is that what they mean by extra size?
Well, no,
tall.
they do accommodate for like fat people like me, and that's fine. That's great, but kind of show it in the adverts, people. You know, it's not.
Yeah, being inclusive.
It's like they don't want not to be, you know, well, to be blunt about it, they don't want fat people on screen showing these things because it makes their product look bad.
It's insane,
Right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's fattest.
It is. Anyway, right.
You know,
Merry Christmas, listeners.
Try replacing the word. Try replacing the word fat with black and see if that sounds prejudiced.
Well, it would be because it's still prejudiced anyway. But yeah,
Whenever someone says something about ginger people, I say, okay, replace the word ginger with black and tell me that doesn't sound discriminatory.
I have something to say about that because my flatmate's ginger, and you will not take away my right to take the piss out of him.
but for being ginger. No, that's him specifically.
Yeah, it's kind of just him specifically.
Yeah, when someone says, I hate ginger people, okay, replace the word ginger with black and see how that sounds.
yes.
I don't hate black.
Exactly.
Well, you could just say, I hate people and be done with it.
Yeah.
Why? I don't discriminate. I hate everybody.
Yes.
It saves a lot of time in the long run.
But especially you.
Here we go. Right. Well. Welcome back, everyone. You're all sounding a bit more in high spirits. I think you've all woken up a bit.
We all got a coffee.
We did get a coffee, to be fair.
Or a spice chai latte.
Spice chai latte,
I
sponsored
don't
by
have a
Sorry,
coffee.
chai latte.
I still don't understand what that
chai
is, a spice chai latte.
Well, it's a latte
With chai.
made from chai with spices.
No, a latte is milk, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a milky
use
tea
milk
with
instead
spices
of
in.
water.
Milky tea with spices.
Well,
Nice.
yeah, but you're not using tea because you don't use tea in a chai.
Doesn't chai just mean tea?
It's sort of it's a tea in the sense
you
that
saying
you're
like
boiling.
tea?
Yeah.
You're not using tea leaves. There's no
But
tea
you use-
leaves in chai.
What
You should
is-
have a chai. Go get one tomorrow.
But,
And
Or
find out.
stay in because there's COVID out there.
All that.
yeah, I'll stay in and probably just forget this
Just
conversation.
wonder. Well, next time you're around my place, mate, I'll make you one.
Okay. I'll come round
There you go.
specially.
They-
Oh
they-
God, no! Neil's going to turn up on my doorstep.
Have we done?
Give me COVID.
The best thing is he's not going to tell you when either, Stu. Just to get a knock at the door one day.
They
Middle of-
use-
middle-
If I'm
middle of
lucky,
the
I'll get
night.
a knock on the door. Middle of the night, I'll just wake up. Where's my chai?
In fact, I'll just be stood in your bedroom. I'll just be stood up.
Again. Yes.
In fact, I won't even wake you up. I'll just be stood there when you wake up.
Yes. Yes. That's not
Again.
terrifying at all.
Cool. All right then, folks.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not.
Shall we jump back into the game, everybody?
Yes.
What we'd like to do.
Before it gets even more creepy.
Oh, dear.
Save us from ourselves.
We have hit the highest acceptable amount of creepy, I think, for today. Any
Oh,
more creepy is
don't
not
make
allowed.
it a challenge.
Oh, God. Yes.
Why don't
Yes.
we add in some creepy dolls to the mix, which you've just
Tales.
been
Yeah.
You
talking
could have got
to?
rid of them. You
We
could
could
got
have,
rid of
but I
them.
mean, we can always get rid of them. That's not a difficult
Can
thing
we
to do.
animate them as a
Well,
question?
I asked Otto. Well, Alwyn asked Otto that. He said, "Can you not animate them so they fight on our behalf?" And then Della got all funny about it.
No, but that's Della. Amy's asking.
Amy's curious. Della wants nothing
Yeah.
to do with it.
Like, they don't have to fight. They could just, move slightly or walk up behind people and just do creepy shit.
Or serve people in shops,
Yeah.
like
Sit on your shoulder.
just happened with us.
Yeah. What is everyone's thoughts on interacting with a sentient doll? How has that made you all feel?
Well, I enjoyed it more than last time.
Yeah, it didn't try to stab you this time.
This time it didn't try to stab me. That's always a plus.
Yet.
Alan was, yes, don't ask for credit. That's the thing.
Yeah, that might go poorly.
Yeah, and that creepy doll is a rip-off merchant, so I don't know which is worse, really. Charging above market value for items.
Well, essentially, Stu, I didn't want to put too fine a point on it, but essentially, that doll is the black market.
Oh yeah, I get that, but still,
So you're not. I mean, you might have a hard time getting her to conform to trading standards. Is all I'm saying.
Yes. Oh no, I appreciate that, but still, yeah, I still don't know which is worse. Being stabbed.
Always burn the shop down.
Yeah, we are.
That is always an option. Always an option. Burn the shop down.
Niederschläger option.
Never rule it out.
Is Otto related to Oppenheimer? I wonder.
What for?
I don't know,
Destroyer of worlds
is the nuclear option.
I am become the destroyer of worlds.
Osmandius. Yes, I am Osmandius, destroyer of worlds.
I thought it was Destroyer of Time was the original.
Who was?
Quote. I thought it was always misquoted. And never mind. I might be thinking of something else.
No, it might be misquoted, but it's still a good quote, even if it's a misquote.
Yeah. But don't you ever have one of those days where you get up and you knock your coffee cup over and then you bend over, you bang your head on something and break it, and drop something and break it, and you just think, I am become the destroyer of worlds. That you're just surrounded by all this carnage, and you haven't even woken up properly.
That's a Monday.
A coffee cup in a cupboard does not constitute destroying a world.
It does if you knock the drawer out and all the cutlery goes everywhere, and you've spilt your coffee, and you've dropped something that your wife really values. And
I was going to say, it does if you don't clean it up before Janet gets home.
Yeah, and there's a shelf in our bathroom which is it's quite precarious. So if you catch yourself on it, it comes clattering down off the wall. No, I am become the destroyer of worlds.
Why would you have a precarious shelf in your bathroom, Neil?
It wasn't my idea. Well, it was my handiwork.
I think
it's just the way it's made.
That's the answer. Yeah, it's the way it was put up. I know. Oh dear.
It's fine if you hang a towel on it, but if you knock it upwards,
it just is gone. It's destroyed.
It's gone. Yeah.
Well, speaking of borderline questionable handiwork, shall we get back into the game, folks?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
there's no Christmas in Galarian, is there?
There is an equivalent. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but there is an equivalent.
Oh, right. Okay. Did not know that.
I could be talking out my arse when I say that, but I'm pretty sure there's an equivalent. There's an equivalent for most things in the Gregorian calendar.
Right. Okay.
It's not always at the same times. So yeah, there are equivalents for Galarian.
I look forward to the Galarian version of St. Swithin's Day then.
That would be quite funny.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right then, folks. So bringing ourselves back into our game, our adventurers, Alwyn Templeton, Brother Amos, Otto von Niederschläger, and Della Thornbury have just been on a brief shopping trip around Whitethrone. They interacted with a blacksmith known as Norska von Apfelmeister, who is an old acquaintance of Otto's, much to both Otto and the smith's surprise, sort of running into each other as they did. You sold some weapons. You bought some weapons. You learned that you are carrying at least one quite interesting piece of equipment that you previously didn't realise you had. And following that, you made your way across the city of Whitethrone in order to seek out the mysterious person known as Guinevere, sort of told to you by Solvig Airdol. You went to the section of the city known as Porcelain Street, where a lot of sort of crockery and ceramics are made, and entering a small unassuming building, you found that there was a shop being run essentially by a sentient doll, otherwise known as a poppet. And owing to your previous experiences with such things, the party were understandably wary. But eventually, they managed to get over their fear and their distrust, and were able to do some business with the poppet known as Guinevere. Once again, with some more goods sold, some potions bought, and a couple of small side jobs requested, sort of where they were requesting the acquiring of certain things. The party concluded their business out shopping and made their way back to the Shrine of the Everbloom in the Flows district of the city of Whitethrone. And that's really where we find ourselves back into the game. You guys have just returned to the Shrine of the Everbloom. You've given the password that you needed to get back inside, and you now find yourselves in this semi-familiar space. So, what would you all like to do?
Well, we've got one of these jobs to do.
Yes.
We have our jobs to do, don't we? We have our missions. We've got this missing in action cell.
Just so you know, I'm without my rapier.
Oh, we've got to hang around till tomorrow then before we can go.
I mean,
do anything.
I've got a cold iron longsword still.
You can't
So it's
use
not
both
like I'm without a weapon.
You can't use both at once, can you?
What?
You can't use a rapier and a cold iron sword at the same time.
I can't. No, but I haven't got my rapier, so...
No, that's what I mean. If you had your rapier, you would be using your rapier, but you can't use a cold iron sword while you're using the rapier, and vice versa, can you? So you don't need both.
No, but if you want to go fighting things, I do have the cold iron longsword.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yes.
We have
I'm
cross
confused.
purposes here.
I'm saying I'm not optimally armed, but I'm still armed.
You only have one sword.
Well,
But you can only-
I have a sword that doesn't do anywhere near as much damage, and it's harder for me to hit things.
That's
I mean-
now we're getting to the nub of the matter.
Yes. But yes, if you want to go ahead and do things. I mean, what time of day is it, Dom?
I mean, it would be terrible to hang around.
So we're probably getting closer towards evening time anyway, because this is the same day that you left Digby Rat's place with your papers. So because I don't think you've rested in the Shrine of the Everbloom just yet.
No.
So yeah, it's in that case. By the time you sort of got to Solvig, you had your interaction with him, and sort of with then going off and doing your shopping. Yeah, it's probably getting close to evening time, sort of perhaps about 5, maybe 6 o'clock in real terms.
The sun is going down. Is this the time to be going to fight monsters?
Well, it's in the Undercity, so do you know what? I don't think light's going to be an issue one way or another anyway.
But your rapier might.
But your rapier might.
Well, yes.
We can rest up and pick that up and go tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can have a bit of an explore. Well, can we really have a bit of an explore? I was thinking, looking around that area where we think to see if how we can get past the guards. Oh, is Solvig around?
Solvig is around if you go looking for him.
Let's see if Solvig knows if we can bribe any of the Iron Guards.
The Winter Guard.
Winter Guard. Oh yes,
So
it's the Iron Guards of these people who are with us. There's some of the Iron Guards. Yes, the Winter Guard. Yes, should we? Do you think that's a good idea? We look at maybe bribing some of the Winter Guards to get past them.
I think he was going to sort something out for us to get through. Anyway.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So,
yes.
Everything is saying wait, isn't it? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait for the rapier, wait for the bribes to be sorted out, wait. Till you feel a bit happier.
It's what we do in the meantime. We're not really sit around and wait sort of people, are we?
Speak for yourself.
What was that other job we had
cards?
to do? Other than killing the monster, there was
So
find
a
some
group-
people.
Yes, they'd gone missing. They were ratted out by a mole. The mole is now dead. As I recall, I was only half listening. That, yes, these people have gone missing. I suspect it's something to do with the monster as well. I imagine these two tasks will roll into one.
Do you think?
I'm guessing here.
Maybe we should just make some inquiries about that.
Or we
Yeah,
could
is
do
that-
that, yes.
Is that what you want to do? Do you want to speak to people, get some more information?
I think. What do you all think?
Who do we ask? Who do we ask about something like that?
The last people to see them alive. That's what they always say in the plays that come to the towns I'm in.
But they are still alive, aren't they? Or they seem-
Well, we don't know. They've disappeared.
Those people that saw them then.
Yes. Yes. Let's see if we can find out who the last people who saw them.
Yeah, maybe Solvig knows.
Solvig knows something. I'm sure of that.
I'm waiting for you to tell me you're going to talk to
let's-
someone.
Let's ask him.
Let's go talk to Solvig.
Yes.
Cool.
Good plan.
Yeah. So yeah, you approach Solvig. Seems to be in the process of just kind of maintaining his armor. You see he's brushing down his leathers with looks to be an oil or something to keep it flexible and all that sort of thing. And he sees you approaching. All right there, folks. Did you have a good day out in Whitethrone? Did you get what you needed? Did you manage to get hold of what you needed?
Got hold of some bits, thank you very much. Guinevere sent her regards. And fuck me, you could have warned us.
Warned you about? No. Well, I suppose I could have. But yeah, you know what? I'll make a note of that for next time. I probably should. Honestly, I've worked with Guinevere for a long time now, and I kind of forget that she's not exactly what you'd call normal.
How would you forget
Not with those
that?
prices, no.
Well, the prices are a necessity of doing business with her. She's very capable of getting hold of things, sometimes that nobody else can get, or sometimes that nobody else has available. Very talented, very useful to have on your side.
No doubt.
And yeah, I know she charges above the nose a little. But, you just have to sort of put up with it. Really, we don't have much choice.
We sucked it up.
It's all
Anyway.
right. I was only being glib anyway. Yes, it was really the doll people who normally try and kill us thing. Yes.
All right. Well, what can I do for you? You here to ask about one of those jobs?
Yes. What
Yes.
do you know about the people who've gone missing? Where were they seen last? Who saw them? What did they have for tea the night before?
So you're asking
were they
about the missing cell, right?
Yes, if you could just point us towards the clues, and we will decipher them.
I can tell you that this particular cell, quite a small cell. There were a total of only 6 of them, including the mole. They were based down in the south of the city, kind of close between the border between the Troll Quarter and the Fangs. They were keeping an eye on monster movements, particularly around the Ifang arena. And as I know, they were captured. The mole was slain. One of their number was slain. So there are 4 of them, who are missing. My scouts report that they saw them being hauled off, kind of into the center of the city. But the trail was lost. The Winter Guard who took them, they ducked into some buildings, which we know connect to parts of the Undercity, and it's possible that they could be almost anywhere. But I have some leads. There are 2 places in the city where it's likely that they've been taken to. The first is that they've been taken to the Ifang arena itself. A few of my scouts report that there have been a number of new fighters appearing in the pits over the last couple of days, and also you have the Bone Grinder on the outskirts of town. Bone Grinder is a windmill. It's also a prison of sorts. It's where a lot of prisoners, particularly important prisoners like members of our little group get taken. But beyond that, we've not been able to get close enough to either place really to see to confirm where they might be.
Political prisoners.
Aye, that sort of thing.
Lario Bay.
I mean, we don't. It depends really what the Winter Guard wanted with them. Like, if they intend to keep hold of them, perhaps try and get some information out of them, it's likely they would have taken them to the Bone Grinder. If they were just looking for a way to get rid of them, it would have been the arena.
I think the arena might be a good place to start looking.
I disagree. I think the bigger danger is if they've been taken to the Bone Grinder, and if they're being tortured for information, we want to get them out of there before they reveal information. If they've been taken to the arena to kill them, well, that would be very sad, but at least they wouldn't be giving away information.
Why is it called the Bone Grinder?
It's a very literal and, if I'm honest, quite grisly answer. So I hope you've not eaten. I hope you got a strong stomach. It's called the Bone Grinder because they literally grind bones there. White Throne, unless you're a member of the Jadwiga, and in which case you have like family vaults and all that sort of thing. We don't really have the space for graveyards or anything like that. So mostly folks who die for whatever reason in the city, they get taken to the Bone Grinder, where they get ground up and used for all sorts of things. You can see a lot about the Jadwiga, but they are certainly resourceful.
I've heard it's very good for fertilizer.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Some does get used for fertilizer. There is a section of the hothouse where they basically use to grow crops, and they do use bone meal to help fertilize part of that. But the bulk of it gets used either to help pave the roads. It's put into sort of wheat and flour to enrich bread, that kind of thing.
Stops you from being vegetarian, but no, I think in general principles I quite approve of that.
So
Efficient
was the mole in this group for a period of time before they were found?
I don't know exactly when they turned. Literally, the reports I've heard tell me that this cell of 6, they literally discovered them all as they were informing the Winter Guard of their location. They had enough time to kill him, to stop him talking any further, but not to prevent the raid on their safe house.
So, to me, that sounds like they would have already got the information that they need. So really, you would just need to get rid of them.
Well, no, because they barely found out the location. Definitely. I mean, we can always, maybe you and Otto can go off to the arena, and myself and Amos can go to the bone grinder.
I like that idea least of all. I think we should just go to the bone grinder.
Together. We can go to the bone grinder.
Now, what is our mission exactly as regards this cell? Is it to stop them talking, whatever the cost, or is it to try and rescue them?
Well, ideally, it's to rescue them, bring them back to us, so that they can continue. The Heralds, we're short-handed as it is, even with our numbers being bolstered by what remains of the Iron Guard. There is not. I need bodies, really, able bodies who can hold a sword or tend a wound, that kind of thing.
Right.
Ideally, I want to see him back within my fold.
Ideally, if that's not possible, I would simply ask you to make sure that they don't suffer.
I think I understand. So stealth and caution with this job.
We're not to leave them in the hands alive in the hands of the guard.
But that would be suffering.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if they're being tortured and you've got no way of getting them out, I think they would prefer to be
put out of their misery.
Put out of their misery. But that's really a last resort. I want my people home.
Right.
If at all possible.
Yes, got to think of the greater good. Greater good. Right.
Off we go then.
Where's the bone grinder?
All right. So you're taking on the missing cell first. Is that correct?
Well, we're going to have a look tonight. Yes.
You're going to have a look tonight. Okay. Sure. That's fine. There's no curfew as such in White Throne. But the Winter Guard do tend to look a little more closely at people who are wandering around after dark, just so you know. Also, you won't get anywhere near the windmill itself. You'll get close enough to see it, and perhaps to see people going in and out of it. But you won't get inside. I'll tell you that for free. Not just by asking, at least.
Okay, maybe we would just do a scouting mission.
A stealthy scouting mission.
Fine idea.
A stealthy scouting mission.
Yes. Like the idea of that.
Well, sounds like a fine idea.
So what part of the city did you say it was in?
So if it's the bone grinder that you're looking for, it's actually outside the walls. You'll need to head through the midden. There is kind of a path leading to the northern gate. Either side of it, you've got Two Hill and Winter Side. Technically, that means that if any of you are carrying Digby's slave papers, you're not technically allowed in those places, but the road that leads to the north gate is exempt. People can come and go from there.
It is neither one nor the other.
It's neither. It's neither. That's it.
Until you step off the road, one side or the other, into Winterside or into Two Hill.
That's exactly it. That's exactly
I understand. And then it is out of town northwards. How far?
Not very far. I'll show you here actually. And he sort of pulls out the large map of the city he's been showing you. So on the map that I've sent you guys, you'll see outside the northern wall. There is a cluster of buildings, kind of just above a legend.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The bone grinder is in that complex.
Ah.
And Solvik tells you, once you get outside the gate, you will see it. You'll see it quite clearly. It's a big thing. You can't miss it. One thing to note: you will probably be stopped and searched on the gate itself. So, if there's anything you're carrying that you feel you shouldn't be, I'd suggest you maybe leave it here.
Would Brother Amos's katars count as daggers? Because slaves are obviously allowed to carry daggers.
Yeah, they're a little unusual. I think you're probably going to get some questions, but looking at the size of them, I think you'll be fine. Although one thing I will say, slaves are only allowed to carry a single dagger.
What do you think, Brother Amos?
I think that I am an experienced smuggler. Could I not just try sneaking my weapons with me?
You absolutely could. Let me just remind myself what experienced smuggler does.
It goes
smuggles things with experience.
That's it.
So you're going to pop these in your prison pocket, is that right?
Yeah.
in your nicking coat.
That's painful. That's painful.
Yeah.
Know what you can do with those katars? You can shove them up in any way.
All right. Yeah. Do you know what? I think experienced smuggler would apply, because it's kind of like you're constantly moving them around. So it only ever looks like that. There's one there. I think I would allow you to do that.
Okay.
That's a plan.
All right. Anything else you want to know? Any questions?
No, that's good for me.
No.
We ought to have a cover story as to, like, if we get questioned, like, who are you and where are you going, what are you doing, sort of thing. We ought to have an answer.
Aren't you Bob of the Wasteland returning home with your slave?
Returning to the Wastelands?
Yes, returning to the Wastelands with your escort or companion and her slave.
Okay. That's certainly an idea. Unless anybody can think of a better
You're bringing me
story.
to the bone grinder for grinding.
No, I think they grind dead bodies.
Oh. You're bringing me
that's the
dead me.
Because you're a crap slave, is that what you're
yeah.
saying? Didn't do his job properly. So no, because then the guards might just say, well, fine, we'll just kill him then. I mean, we can just be merchants taking an evening
stroll.
But we haven't got the paperwork for that.
Oh no! Do you know what? Right, here's an idea. We were told that some of the Jadwigger like to, feign being adventurers and look how bold we are at adventuring and things like that. Why don't we just say we're off to do brave adventuring out in the wilderness?
That could work.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good idea. That's a nice way to use some things you know about the Stilyagi.
Because after all, I'm Bob of the Wilderness.
You will be in the wilderness soon.
What do you think? Yes, let's do that. Right. We all know our cover story. Brilliant. Right.
So we're going on an adventure.
We're going to do some brave adventuring.
Brave adventuring.
Brave adventuring. We're going to kill fearsome, not wolves. Looks at Chardonnay. Fearsome, not monsters, because monsters are kind of running this city. We're going to kill. Something. Do you get bears in the surrounding areas?
Bears, yeah, we get bears around here quite a lot actually. It's not uncommon for people to go out and slay one, bring its pelt back. Fetches a good bit of money in the markets.
Perfect. We're going to prove our mettle as adventurers by slaying some bears and bringing back the pelts as not souvenirs. What's the word I'm looking for? Trophies.
Yes. Sounds great. That's I think that's a pretty smart idea. Excellent.
Yes. And our slaves are coming along to carry the pelts.
Carry the gubbins.
Fine.
Back.
Fine.
Yes.
It's not me you gotta convince, but that sounds good to me.
Right. Okay. Let's away.
Let us away.
All right. As you sort of move away from Solvig and start moving towards the exit of this of the Shrine of the Everbloom, you hear shouts coming from the far end of the shrine, sort of the way away from where you're heading, and as you hear these shouts coming, you look over and you see Solvig stiffen, and then a moment later you all hear a bell ring, not like a massive church bell or anything, more like a sort of small handbell being rung from the far end, and you see as this bell rings, Solvig sort of leaps to his feet, sort of grabs a long sword that he had just resting against the side of the wall, and you see a door in the far end of the shrine bursts open, and another of these leather-clad individuals sort of bursts through the door, a little bit out of breath, and calls out, Captain Erdal, they're attacking again. Ghouls are back. They're attacking again. And you see Solvig sort of grabs his sword, sort of looks over to the four of you as you're making your way out, and he says, and he calls over, well, I know you were off to do some scouting of yourselves, but if you want to prove yourselves, this is a good chance for you.
Yes. Owen will draw his long sword. Lead on.
Yeah.
Right, this way.
Who's attacking? I didn't quite catch it.
Ghouls.
Ghouls are attacking.
All right. So
Are
you
they-
all?
Hit them in the ghoulies.
Are they undead?
Hello, ghouls.
Are they undead?
Ghouls generally, yes. Of course, ghouls are undead.
Well, not necessarily. You can be quite ghoulish and still be alive.
All right. Are you all sort of following Solvig as he starts to move towards this doorway?
Charging weapons drawn.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you all follow. You'll come rushing forward, sort of gathering your gear as you do. So you rush, following Solvig through this door. You see, as he gets to the doorway, he draws this longsword that he picked up, holds the scabbard almost in an offhand position, and as he begins to descend down a set of stone steps, you can hear the twang of crossbow bolts being fired, accompanied by the sound of steel cutting through flesh, and a few you hear a few cries of battle coming from the corridor further ahead from you, and you come to a fork in the path. Solvig sort of listens out. He says, "Right, the four of you go down that path there for me. I've got a small group of soldiers. They are holding that point. Go and reinforce them. I'm going to see how they're doing on this flank."
Okay.
Alan will barrel down the direction he's pointed.
Which way was that, left or right?
He's directed you to go right, and he's going to go left.
Can I also have drawn my shield as well, please?
Absolutely. You can all have drawn whatever weapons you wish to have ready for the start of this encounter here. Yeah.
Right.
So you split up from Solvig. Solvig disappears, and kind of as he parts, he sort of just says he says to you all very very quickly, may your thorns taste blood today, friends. He disappears down the left-hand tunnel.
As he does so, Alwyn will call after him, and let's all get pissed afterwards.
Aye, sounds good to me. You will rush off down the right-hand tunnel, and after just a few seconds of running, you hear the sound of footsteps, sort of running back in your direction, and sort of rounding the corner, you see there is a single human male. His face is streaked with blood. You can see that there are kind of three deep gashes down one side of his face. You can see he is carrying a broken longsword, and is kind of running. Sees you coming. They've broken through. Help us!
Yes, we'll deal with them. You get yourself to safety.
Oh, all right. You see, he staggers past you, sort of clutching his side as he does so, and you hear the rattle of a breath from around the corner. And at that point, I would like everybody to please roll initiative.
Yay!
Roll initiative.
We've avoided some fights.
28.
20.
14. 14.
22. We are prepared as we're coming round the corner.
You are. So, sorry, those numbers again. Alwyn, you had
28.
28. Very nice. Amos.
20.
20. Okay. Della.
22.
22. And Otto.
14.
14 for Otto. Dokie dokie. Okay, so there's a roll for them as well. That is amazing. I will tell you for nothing, you are all going before these creatures.
Yay!
What their bonus is.
That's what a natural one sounds like.
It wasn't a 1, it was close. It was very, very close.
2.
That's it. It was a 3 on the die.
Oh.
3 on the die. But, okay, so kind of as you hear this screeching cry, this warbled, garbled cry from coming ahead of you, you all keep running for a brief second, and you see as you come around this corner, coming the other direction, you can see that there is a pack of 4 sort of grey-skinned creatures that perhaps were once vaguely humanoid. But you can see as they run towards you, their withered, rotting flesh hangs limp against their bones. They each have these kind of slavering tongues, sort of whipping out of their mouths, and their hands end in long, distended fingers, each of which is tipped with a razor-sharp claw. They are currently. Who would have been taking the lead as you were running down? The corridor is sort of 10 feet wide, so you could be 2 abreast.
Alwyn's happy to run into the face of danger.
Brother Amos.
Maybe also will bring up the back.
I will follow up.
Yeah, that's fine. So, kind of as you come around this next corner, you can see down this dimly lit passageway, perhaps.
Maybe Chardonnay just slightly in front because Chardonnay is quick.
Sure, yeah, that would make sense.
Chardonnay is a good boy.
He's a very good boy. So these creatures are perhaps 35, 40 feet away from you all, and acting first is going to be Olwyn.
Right, 35, 40 feet away.
You can see that you're kind of coming into a slightly wider cavern that perhaps was once one of the Herald's checkpoints or something.
Right. So Arwen will move 25 feet closer, so he's not quite to them, but not too far away.
So first action, Olwyn moves forward.
Raises his shield for his second action.
Yep.
And instructs Chardonnay to kill the nearest one.
Okay.
Chardonnay's movement is 35 feet.
30. So Chardonnay can get in there with 5 feet movement spare, and then is going to make an attack with his second action.
Yep.
Roll that attack.
22.
22 hits. Roll damage for me.
9 points of damage. That's piercing damage for what it's worth.
9 points of piercing damage. Okay. Does it resist
Chomps
piercing?
on ghoul.
He does. He does indeed. Chardonnay bites in. That's a good round there. That's Olwyn done, I believe.
With a cry of, "There's another good reason why this bone crushing sounds like a good idea. You wouldn't have things like this."
Okay, Della, we're on to you.
Ooh. How much movement do I need to get up close and personal?
To get up close and personal, you would need 5, 10, 20, 40 feet of movement to get into base contact with one.
Okay.
War game term.
And within 2 movements, which would be 60, could I get into a flanking position, or are they blocking the way?
You could. That would put you in. So to get into a flanking position with Chardonnay, you absolutely could. With 2 moves. However, that would put you kind of in the middle of 3 of them.
Oh, okay. No, I won't do that then. I will just plonk myself to the side of Chardonnay and
sure
attack
thing.
the same one.
Sure thing. 5, 10, 20, 30. And roll that attack, Della.
Cool. That is a 25.
Right, 25 is a hit, Della. Roll the damage.
Cool. So 1.
1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a lot.
Big swing.
Do you not have... you should be adding your dex bonus to that if it's with the dagger.
Oh, it just says 1d6.
Oh, no, hang on. Ignore me. I'm thinking of the wrong system.
Yeah,
because you're using rapier or a dagger.
Rapier.
That's and your strength's modifier is 0, isn't it?
+1.
+1. So you should be adding +1 to that damage roll.
Oh, okay. 2.
2. There we go. Very nice.
Rapier,
stab
you
into-
can use Dex.
No, not for damage. You can't. That's only the thief rogue that gets that.
I feel like we've had this
sorry, I'm looking
conversation
at
more
to
than
attack.
once.
Oh, yeah. Ignore me.
Yeah, dex to attack, strength to damage.
Yeah.
Yep. So 2 moves up, and you stab with your third action. That's Della done. Amos.
I would very much like to prepare my hand stabbers and then do some hand stabbing. We'll do a flurry of
Some
hand
hand
stabbing.
sure. Flurry of hand stabbing. That sounds like a great idea. So first up, you're going to have to move in close.
Yep. And
What's
then
your movement?
My movement is, I think, it's 35 feet. Yeah, it's 35 feet.
It's 35 feet. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can kind of rush up the other side of Chardonnay. That puts you in range of 2 of these ghouls, and yep. So you got 2 actions left.
Okay. I'm assuming I need 1 action to get out my stabbies.
No, I think because you were very aware that you were probably going into a fight here. You can have had them drawn already. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, I'm going to do a flurry of blows with my hand stabbies.
Okay, so flurry of blows, 2 attacks against 1 target. Are you aiming for the one that's been hit by Darren Chardonnay, or the other one that's untouched?
Yeah. The one that's been hit.
Sure. Focus it down. Roll the attacks.
So you've all attacked the same one, and there are 4 of them.
So far, yes.
Right.
We're leaving the other 3 for you.
Right, first one.
Smoke one time first.
Wait. Third. Christ. You know what? I'm adding the number from the little axe, aren't I?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Okay, so 30.
30. Nice. And immediately your fancy daggers pay off, Darren, as that is a critical hit.
Yay!
Hey.
Extra
So that was my
D6.
first strike.
Yep. Roll the second one.
My second strike. Oh, I just rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
buddy.
Hero point.
Hero point.
Yeah, hero point. Yeah. I'm using my hero
Roll
point.
again.
The second one, 21.
21 is a hit. It's not a crit, but it is a hit. So let's get you a crit card for your first one.
Yay!
Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's unfortunate. So what's the damage you've got?
Okay, for my first strike damage.
So for the critical, it'll be a D4 for the dagger, which is doubled. Plus your strength, which is also doubled.
D4. Hold on. I've just dropped my dice. What the fuck has that done? How have I just lost a dice?
Take your shoes off, you'll find it very easily.
Yeah, there's a pointy one. Right, okay, so first one is D4 doubled, isn't it? You said.
Yeah, D4 plus strength doubled.
So that's 4, 5, 6, 12.
12. Okay, and then roll a D6 on top.
4.
So that's 16. And then with your second hit, it's just D4 plus strength.
Just a D4 plus strength. 8.
8. Bloody hell. Okay. So, like you, the rest of you watch as Brother Ramos charges in with his shiny new daggers. With 2 quick strikes, you literally eviscerate this creature in front of you, Brother Ramos. As you stab in with your first strike, a big gout of black Icarus blood comes shooting out from it where you stabbed it. You kind of caught it right under the arm and tore like a section of the chest out. The crit card you drew was nicked an artery. So if you hadn't just killed it, it would be taking persistent bleed damage. Brother Ramos just destroys this first creature in front of him and has an action left.
Now I know why you said that's unfortunate, because aren't ghouls immune to bleed?
I thought they were, but they're actually not.
Oh, right, okay.
Can I? Am I close enough to another one?
Yeah, you are close enough to powerfully fist the second creature.
And I will powerfully fist the second creature.
Oh dear.
Oh, for fuck's sake. There, I've just rolled a 1.
Oh, buddy, roll a d6 for me.
Can I give you my hero point?
Rolled a 6.
Sadly not. 6. Oh, that's not a critical fumble. It's just a very bad miss.
I can live with that.
As you just destroy this creature, this first creature, Brother Amos, as this blood goes streaking out, like some of it kind of splashes in your eyes, and you're like, fuck, can't see. And you swing wildly with your last strike, missing it by a mile. End of Amos's turn. It is Otto.
I will also pick this second one, who's kind of. How far away am I from him? Was it 40 feet?
I think it is about 40 feet. Bear with me. 45 feet for you, Otto.
So I will move up 20 feet.
Sure thing.
Just as the prophecy said.
Just.
Let's see. There we go.
And I will cast a healing spell on this thing.
Interesting. Okay. What is it? The spell heal?
The heal spell, yes.
Okay. So let me figure out how this works. So I think you have to make a spell attack, Otto.
Right. Spell attack, which is
D20 plus your spell attack bonus.
Ooh, 29.
29. Bloody hell, that is a critical hit on a spell.
Yeah! Crazy times. What are we going to get?
At what level were you... Oh, actually, no. That's... I've probably done this very wrong, and I'll get corrected at some point, but this is kind of cool. Spell's range of 30 feet.
Yeah, so I'm 25 feet away.
Yeah, I think, this is going to be a lot of damage. What level were you casting the spell at?
What's the highest I can do against a single target at using 2 goes?
Well, the highest level spell you currently have is a third level spell.
If I can do a third level spell at this one with using 2 goes, yes, that's what I did.
Yeah, you absolutely can. So really, we should be declaring what level the spell is before we do anything like that. But that's my fault. We'll let it go for now. So that's a lot. Could you roll 3d8 for me, please?
3d8. So let me work out which is d. 5, 3, and 6.
14.
So there's 14.
Add 24.
38.
38. You watch as Otto strides forward, sort of glowing magic, healing magic building in his hand, lashes out towards you. This almost streak of bright golden energy streaks towards the creature, and you watch as it is turned to dust by this powerful blast. It doesn't even have time to make a sound as Otto just pops it.
I am a healer.
Fantastic. And the crit card you would have drawn for that was Concussive Blast. So if that ghoul had survived that, you would have just knocked it you would have knocked it off its feet.
Knocked his block off.
Knocked his block off.
His dust particles are on the side.
That's it. All right. Is that? I think that's the end of Otto's turn.
That's the end of my turn.
Is indeed. And we are around to the ghouls. And kind of as we get to the ghouls' turn, the 2 remaining ghouls are kind of sort of with this onslaught. They kind of look at each other, and you see, for as mindless as these creatures appear, there is something of a predatorial intelligence to them, and they sort of warily begin to back away from you all. However, as they back away, just a tiny little bit, all of you start to get a very disgusting smell in your noses. It starts to fill the air around you, almost as though the air becomes almost chewy as the smell intensifies. Just a smell of rot and decay, and you see, striding around the corner into the other end of this chamber, and just placing a hand on each shoulder of these ghouls, you see a much larger ghoul with a much longer tongue, and just emanating this stench from it as it does so, and it looks at all of you. You see its tongue whips around its face for just a second. Fresh meat, forward. Bodily pushes both the ghouls back in towards you, and that is where we're going to end for today, folks.
Ooh. Stuff the big one.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Fiegel Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Nazar Ryback from hooksounds.com. Editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching Tales from the 20 Side, or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
I was about to ask Otto if he'd eaten cheese.
If I'd cut the cheese.
Is anyone else getting Resident Evil vibes from this big ghoul?
Well, now that you
Played
mention
enough
it,
of
yes.
Resident Evil to say.
Ghoulish. Merry Christmas to our listeners for next week.
That's it.
Merry
Happy Christmas,
Christmas.
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
And to all a good night.
God bless us one and all.
Ha! Bum hug.